fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. A common definition of failure is that it is an event that doesn't accomplish its intended goals. It's that straightforward. Today, I want to talk about the limitations of having a negative view of failure, how we can change that into something positive and actually succeed when we're failing. Now, some people perceive failing at a particular task as a personal failure, and that it somehow diminishes their self-worth. From the time we were young, we are told that failing is something that's negative, and if you're failing in school, you're not living up to your full potential. How many of you here dreaded the thought of getting an F in school? I know I did. When I even heard the teacher warn students about the possibility of receiving an F, I got a sinking feeling in my stomach, as if it had already happened to me. I remember in middle school, when I got my report card, I anxiously took it home to my parents, and I stood there waiting impatiently, waiting for them to open it. And what's funny about this is, I already knew what grades I received, yet I was convinced at any moment I could get an F. As the result of having a negative view of failure, this can sometimes lead to a paralyzing fear of failing. I remember the first time I was going to get ready to play in the band. Now, in 4th grade, I decided to join the band because I wanted to be a part of something. Now, I was assigned the French horn because that was the last instrument they had left. And shortly after I started my lessons, it was the first concert of the season. I was terrified. I was so terrified that I could barely blow into my French horn. Everything I learned went out the window. I had no clue how to play. So I just sat there and just pretended to play. After the concert, the senior French horn player, she came up to me and she scolded me. She goes, "You better play next time." I was so horrified by this. I could not believe it. I was embarrassed, first of all, that I forgot everything. And I was just so uncomfortable at the situation that I quit. I quit a short time later. Now, today I can honestly say that I have no interest in playing the French horn. But I can't help wonder, how premature was the death of my desire to be a part of something? Mark Twain said, "Thousands of geniuses live and die undiscovered, either by themselves or by others." I believe if we can shift our view of failure, we can unlock the potential that is hidden inside us all. Now that we briefly discussed the limitations of failure, I want to turn it into something positive. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to never fail again, as if that's even a goal worth striving for. In fact, I believe that mistakes and failures are good things. You see, I'm a motion graphic artist, and it is given that I'm going to come up with a design and some ideas that can be considered failures. When I'm brainstorming, my goal is not to come up with that one perfect idea. In fact, I want to generate as many ideas as possible. And after I'm done brainstorming, I step back and look at my designs. I pick out the positives and the negatives in each design. And I particularly pay close attention to things that I feel need work. And it's interesting, by working this way and learning from my mistakes, I actually generate stronger and better ideas than if I were to only focus on the great ideas at the beginning. I believe Benjamin Franklin said it best when he said, "I didn't fail the test. I just came up with 100 ways to do it wrong." See, failures not only provide us a way to learn from our mistakes, but they also give us opportunities to reevaluate our actions and our beliefs. Up until recently, I was blogging several nights a week. I was putting in long hours into my personal business, but I wasn't getting the so-called results that I expected. So what I decided to do is take a break from my blogging and try to figure out other ways I can focus my energy. I did this for several reasons, but the main reason why I did this is I thought, I'm putting in all this work, but I'm not getting the results that I expect. I must be doing something wrong. That quickly, I went to failure. I was afraid that I was failing. You see, Vannevar Bush was a scientist, and he said, fear cannot be banished. It can be at ease and calm. It can be negated through reason and evaluation. You see, fear doesn't just go away. It is only minimized while our belief in something else, such as our belief in ourselves or our belief in our goals, grows. Evaluation after so-called failures is important because it can shed light on our beliefs and potentially reduce our fear. You may be wondering, why is that important? It's important because it's fear and fear of failing that is stopping us from becoming a success. See, the only true failure is in quitting. Today, I challenge you to stand up to your negative views of failure and embrace them as opportunities to grow. My favorite speaker said, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And I'm Toastmaster.